thank you very much for this opportunity. Yeah, I'm always privileged from your side to talk about the topical issues related to Georgia and not only Georgia. After our last interview, in-person interview from Strasbourg, it passed 1 year, and situation in Georgia is deteriorating day by day, and worsening so much we could not even imagine. Political prisoners, the new legislation, democracy backsliding. So what kind of a country is Georgia today from your side of view?
Well, Nada, it's a very different even from a 1 year perspective. But if I compare Georgia with Georgia I knew, really dynamic, vibrant, ambitious, looking forward in partnership, explaining its plans and receiving some advices from our side, I don't see that Georgia anymore. Probably mountains are the same.
Yeah.
But people are behaving, politicians behaving in an absolutely amazingly different way as, something happened. Did you start...
Completely changed.
Yeah, maybe you
the
changed
nature.
Georgian cuisine or Georgian wine. Sometimes I wonder, something happens. Absolutely. It's like let's be blunt.
Russian injections or infusion, I don't know.
It's like a day and night. We lost contacts, we lost understanding on the government's policy line. Although we know, of course, it's become absolutely pro-Russian. It's infected by the Russian authoritarian kind of strong hand, full control regime. But it's a way back. It's a way back, to past. Georgian people don't need this. They are looking forward. So that's why I'm very sad to admit that we don't see the country we had before. And looks like, they are not willing to listen to us. They know better. They are very angry. They are, they know everything and they are in a better position. Okay, so we can wait, but Georgian people can't.
Yes, Georgian people can't, and the Georgian people is fighting, and Georgian people does not stop to express their protest. 300 and more days, more than 1 year, were in the streets, but now half of them, these people who were in the streets, they are in the jails. Zia Maglobeli was the first female journalist who was jailed, but yesterday she was awarded Sakharov Peace Prize.
Yes.
What kind of step was that from European Union? Because from the one hand, this is a award and we are very pleased, but from the other hand, it declares what country Georgia is.
Firstly, I congratulate those pro-democratically minded Georgians who really deserve this award. Because recognition of Zia Amaglobeli, it's a kind of a huge political credit to all Democrats in Georgia, I can tell you. And between of us, look, we had a very tough race. Who will be in a final position? Now we have Zia, we have Andrzej Poczobut from Belarus and so on. How many we had? We had more than 10 and very strong competitors. But we proved, so we merged, both those journalists who are behind bars, one in Belarus, another in Georgia. And it shows that, there is probably something very special in it. So when Georgians are in prison, when free words, free expression is under suppression,
unusual,
it's something. And we're not speaking about countries far away. Hiding somewhere. In Far East Asia or so on. Nearby. Our neighborhoods.
Candidates.
Country. One is a candidate country. And of course, it sends a very strong signal of support, recognition, and a kind of partnership to Democrats in Georgia. Firstly to Zia, Zia, you are not forgotten. You become an excellent example of personal fight and those values you represent by your activities. But of course, it's a bad message. For the government. If opposition imprisoned and journalists imprisoned, given a Sakharov Prize, something is wrong with kingdom in which that happens. So that's why it's a very bad signal to the Georgian government, to the Georgian dream. It's not a dream. Georgians have it. So that's why
Nightmare.
it's a nightmare, and I hope it will last as short as possible.
Yes, we do believe so, but we need support of allies, because inside the country there is resistance. The recognition of this fact was Mzia's wording, but we need now help from our partners. Some tools that European Union might use. Sanctions. We're talking about it more than 1 year, I know. Now you agreed about travel bans, but this is delayed too. What will happen, and is it possible what had happened in case of Ukraine to overcome this Hungarian veto and even impose that kind of sanction, travel ban for those who steal our European future and their family members?
Well, exactly. So we had many meetings, by the way, and coordination meetings with the Commission and External Action Service. We keep this issue under tight control. So we try to figure out best possible decision not to hurt Georgians, people, but indeed to punish those who did it and who have absolutely different plan for Georgia. And it's not about democracy. It's not about human rights. Okay, so I'm sorry. That decision didn't materialize yet, but it will. Because we don't see anything, on a brighter side. Coming. So that's why when that decision will come, some travel bans, some visa reintroduction. To some officials. I think it will be a very powerful. Again, we will hear very critical remarks that, wow, we are so good, and they do not understand how good we are, and they are it's a kind of political revenge. No, it's not a political revenge. So I promise, to keep this issue under agenda, and we will come up, of course, with that unpleasant surprise for some in early 26.
Okay, let's see it. We are really waiting for that. And the people who are in jail and in prison and in the streets, and we're waiting for that. But BBC, let me talk about BBC investigation. Chemical weapons were used, it's supposed to be used against Georgian people. This is something very new and dangerous. And do you think that this will change the play game and playground, and it gives you more proofs to impose sanctions, and will it help the process? Because it's not only an internal issue, this is very big crime against people of Georgia.
We follow this policy line of the very bad, dangerous, unhuman treatment of people taking part in demonstrations already for some time. Usage of chemical substances forbidden, almost like from the World War I. It's a new page. It's a new development. It took us, really by a big surprise. How come you can use those lethal substances against your people? We are, looking at this issue with a very careful assessment, but.
Do you think that international investigation has to be conducted?
Definitely so, and it should be under request of the government. If they are sure, they didn't do anything wrong, so why not to ask for absolutely independent international investigation and to, prove that, probably it was kind of misreading, but I didn't hear this kind of call to come for experts and to do it.
They have done it quickly in 5 days in the country. They investigated their crimes themselves, and they proved that everything was okay.
Are you surprised?
No, we're not
Neither.
surprised, but you have to put pressure somehow because this is different issue.
Exactly.
And I mentioned that this is a normal and it is not usual situation.
Neither.
Or-
No. I mean, it's really dangerous. I mean, in my experience, I can tell you. I mean, in Europe, we didn't see anything alike for decades. I wouldn't be surprised. To see it in Russia.
Yes,
I
in
mean,
Belarus,
Putin kills
maybe.
people. One by one and in huge numbers. But in Georgia, come on.
So will you raise this issue on the debates, and what will be the subjects and topics and the issues you will talk about and discuss today?
I promise. We have a group of dedicated cross-group members in the European Parliament who, on a permanent basis, we meet high officials. We discuss all the aspects in camera. So we keep everything under control, and I promise you, we will raise this issue. We will write letters needed. So it's not over. We should understand that it's not over.
Yes, it's not over. This is a good word I wanted to hear because I wanted to ask you that kind of question. Is there a fatigue towards Georgia? And did Europeans decide that Russia has prevailed there and this is not worthy to fight for Georgia anymore?
We see unfortunate fallback of Georgia from the line of those ambitious candidate countries which want to reform domestically and come on the European stage, as full members, in due time. So, and this fallback, indeed, it's very unfortunate. It creates a gray zone. Gray zones are never empty. You know it from your history. Once you backtrack, somebody gets into. So that's why I see it. Absolutely, smartly. That's why it's a great danger to come back from this hole. From this deep fall down. It's not automatically easy. It's not. It takes time. Others advance in due time, and it's not technical advancement. This harmonization of laws. For me, it's a technical issue. Democratic criteria, once it's not respected, for me it's a major issue, and I don't see any good news so far. So that's why we look at Georgia as kind of lost case now, but not necessarily lost forever. Things improve, things change. So that's why
we need this punishment of this Bidzina Ivanishvili and his circle.
Unfortunately, sometimes money decides, and I have a feeling that sometimes we probably know very little what is going on under the carpet. Maybe some corruption cases, some money around.
You mean not to impose sanctions here in Europe?
Well, if you look at the member states, what may happen with some politicians in member states.
Orban, Fico, and anyone else? Belgium?
Smells money. Smells money.
So Ivanishvili maybe spends huge money here.
He could. I think he could.
And his Russian counterparts are in favor.
Look, they usually work in groups. They work in partnership. They have good advisors. They have good channels established, and those, KGB never dies forever. It's rebirths from time to time. They have sleeping agents. We have agents of influence who have a good access to some politicians, unfortunately, in Europe.
Or maybe you need some more additional proofs to impose this kind of sanctions. Maybe it's not enough what you have on the table now?
I think we have enough of arguments. This kind of slow response, I think it's a mistake. The sooner response would come, the better it would be for all sides. So then we would know, what is what. I hope we will overcome it. Let's be hopeful for 26.
Okay, and one more issue, and after that we will finalize somehow. I want to mention Ukraine and the new security strategy proposed by Trump. is it challenge for Europe or threat? Be yourselves. Um, Take care about your defense yourselves. What is this new reality now brings on the table for Europeans?
Multipolar world where, some big states have own assessment on the situation. Unfortunately, I don't see much of a strategy. I see some economic interests and much of market economy based, not really geostrategic assessments. To me, in some parts, I see it as a bit simplification and an attempt to deceive themselves, because world is not as simple as some papers present. But let's be frank, it's a huge kick to one part of the Europe's body. Wake up, do more yourself, take more responsibilities, invest into your security, and you will be more self-assured. And you will be really becoming a global player. So we pay money, but not handling our interests up to the level we have to. So I think we will make right conclusions out of this, not necessarily rosy kind of situation.
Okay, and about Ukraine, will you continue to broker this process? Europe is very active. Germany is very active. Keir Starmer and all European leaders are involved. Does it mean that Ukraine will be left alone?
I will be very blunt. Departure of Europe not taking part in negotiations concerning peace settlement in Russian aggression against Ukraine would be a disaster. If Europe, kind of leaves alone, if that would happen, I guess Ukraine would be in a much worse situation, and of course Europe itself. So I think it comes
they're
from
defending Europe now.
exactly.
Ukrainians.
It's a very part of the Europe security. So that's why let's be serious. Let's remain engaged. Not necessarily easy exchange with the U.S. In this regard, but it must. And I'm sure Europeans will continue in a kind of absolutely responsible way.
This Russian assets issue is determined already, right?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Here and there some final details, final touches, but we have no choice. Look, Thursday, Friday, we have a council meeting in Brussels. If we don't do it, it will be a political fiasco of strategic level for European Union, first of all.
Okay. Can you play political prisoners at the end? You know them, politicians, and not only them, bright guys, young people are there. There are your friends in the jail now. Maybe they are watching Natia Gogsadze, Misha Saakashvili, and many more. So how can you play them?
I have too many friends, Georgian friends in prisons. Too many, for too long. And my message, indeed, is a message of support, full solidarity. We think about you. We do remember. We will never give you up. We will fight for absolutely democratic Georgia. So stay hopeful, stay in good health, and I'm sure one day we will have not just excellent interviews here in Brussels or Strasbourg, but we will sit in Tbilisi or any nice city in Georgia, enjoying absolutely different environment. Stay well, be hopeful.
So, thank you very much.
Thank
it was nice to meet you again here
Likewise.
in Strasbourg, and thank
Likewise.
you. Let's see.
Thank you.